Hi, welcome to my channel. This is Rachel DRG. Happy weekend. Hope you're having fun wherever you may be. So today's topic I'm coming to you with, you want to have children, but he doesn't. What do you do? Many times we enter relationships, and because we are so much in love, we tend to think, okay, I do not have to speak about this theme because it's too early, I'm enjoying myself, and he's such a great guy, and I'm sure he will come around, and I'm sure he's not the type who is going to say no, and whatever, and whatever. We tend to start to think about what he likes and what he doesn't like. Ladies, after we have entered a relationship or we're dating, let's say, and after 3 months, when that sweet romantic part is getting to normal, then I think that's the time where we should start thinking about, am I going to ask him or not? Because if you keep pushing it after 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months, then you're running the risk that he might not be the one who wants to start a family with you in the next 2, 3 years. I was reading an article from a psychiatrist, Monica Parrick is her name, and she says, after this romantic part with the pink glasses, the champagne and all is done, then the reality phase starts. And that's when we start seeing character, parts of his character that probably we hadn't seen. And once you are happy with what you're seeing, or you can live with it, then it's the negotiation phase in the relationship. And this is where you have to start asking questions, as she says, whether or not he'd like to have kids. And when this phase starts, many women, they tend to back down because they're afraid of serious conversations. Ladies, don't be afraid of these conversations. These conversations must be had. Whether or not they're easy, or whether or not you fear that he's going to break up, it doesn't matter. You have to decide what's important to you. Some of us enter relationships because we want to have fun. Then you do not have to start having these conversations. If you're just in the relationship because you were coming from a place of broken heart and you just want to have a bridge to get on with your life, then these conversations, they do not have to be had. We must be honest. But if you've met the man of your dreams and you're planning on building a family and you want to leave behind a legacy, then you have to ask these questions. Of course, I know they're not this easy, but why not start asking him? What do you think about having a family? How was your family? Because some women, they do not go in depth whilst dating. They wait until a while. And if you've waited a while, then you have to start thinking, when are we going to move in together? Of course, that's different if you have married that person. More than likely, people marry because they want to start a family. But in Germany, where I live, there are many women who do not want to get married. So they will have to phrase the question, of course, does he want to have children? And there are many different aspects that one has to take in consideration. Let's say you're dating someone or you fall in love with someone who has had already a family or who has had kids. Let's say he has 4. Chances are he doesn't want to have the 5th child. So it's up to you. What am I going to do if he decides to tell me he doesn't want to have another child? Because it could be that he's not in the position to finance a fifth child, or probably he doesn't want to have children at all. For me, if I was single, or if I were now dating again and I'd like to have children and my partner doesn't want to have, that would be a deal breaker for me. Plain and simple. It's not that I do not understand him from his point of view, but I would never give up something that I really want just to have a partnership, because it would be allowing him to have his life and his goals met, and I'm left behind. And I do not think that would be fair to me. It's not that him not wanting to have children is unfair. It's just not fair when I give up my life's goal for him just to be with him. And there are other times the man will say, for now, I do not want to have children. You have to find out if he doesn't want to have children because it's you. Because some men are happy to have a relationship with a woman. They're even happy to go on holidays and to go on shopping spree, but they are not willing to have children with that person. So it's up to you to find out, where is he coming from? And then there's another category. At the moment, I do not see children in my life. The question is, could it be that at the moment he's not financially stable, but he's working on his career and he's hoping later to start a family with you? So these conversations must be had, and they must be had honestly. Because you cannot just say, okay, he says he doesn't want to have children now, and just do not ask why, what happens, and in the future, will we be having kids, or is it that you do not want to have children with me? Of course, it's a little bit tricky and a little bit sad if you have to ask those questions, but it's better to ask the question in the early phase of the relationship. Because as women grow older, to get pregnant becomes much more difficult. And let's be honest, it's not only on the women. As men grow older, their sperms do grow older. I have a good friend, and she wanted to have children. That was in my early 20s. She was married, and they were trying to have children. And all the times she thought it was on her. To make a long story short, they went to the doctor only to find out, because her husband was much older, the sperms were old and slower, and this was the reason why she couldn't have had children with him. Mind you, he had had children with another person from his first marriage, but that didn't say that it was on him. He was always saying, oh, it's not my problem, it's her problem, only to find out, yeah, older men, older body cells, they do not work as efficiently as we all thought. So you have to take that in consideration. If you're willing to wait until you're 40, when this man decides it's time, or if you're willing to give up and to search for love and to search for someone who wants to be a father. On the other hand, there are women, they do not want to have children. Yeah, there are women like that. And when they enter relationships, I think this must be clear to you. You must tell your partner that children are not in the planning, because we shouldn't hinder someone to be a father, because many men, they want to be fathers, not all, but many. And it's on us to be honest, to say, look, it's not in the making. I love you dearly, but children are not a part of my plan. And if he wants to have them, you have to exit that relationship, because you must be fair. You cannot promise something that you'll never be able to keep. And it's my opinion that everyone has to stick to his or her life goal. If children are in the planning, then it's fine. And if not, it's fine. Because the most important thing is that we're happy with our decisions and we live fulfilled life. And with that being said, I'm wishing you a wonderful weekend. Do not forget to share, subscribe, and thumbs up. And I hope to see you soon. So have a wonderful day, and thanks for listening.